Let's study 9th Standard ICSE English Literature, Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 3. This scene takes place in a street in Venice. Shylock is thinking about Bassanio's request for a loan of 3,000 ducats, which he would need 3 months to repay. And Antonio will be the guarantor for this loan because Bassanio cannot afford to repay it. Shylock trusts that Antonio is capable of repaying it, but he is not trustworthy of the ships sailing with Antonio's rich goods, because ships are prone to attacks by pirates or by storms and other dangers at sea. When Antonio reaches the scene, Shylock asks Antonio that even though Antonio would insult him, that is Shylock, spit on him, call him a dog, why has he come for help? He even tells the audience the reason why there was friction between Antonio and Shylock. You see, Shylock is a Jewish moneylender in Venice. Christians at that time weren't allowed to give or take loan on interest. The Jewish people were allowed. Now, Antonio used to help people by giving them loan without any interest. This would severely affect Shylock's business. He lost millions of ducats because of this reason, and that is why they hated each other. So Antonio tells Shylock that Shylock should give him loan not as a friend but as an enemy. Antonio was willing to give a high rate of interest for the loan in such an emergency situation, because Bassanio wanted to go to Belmont to woo Portia, and for that he needed money. Shylock first of all tried to justify that just because he's charging interest doesn't mean that he's doing anything wrong, because he's working hard. Then he gave an example of how Jacob used to get a reward for his hard work when he worked with his uncle Laban in sheep herding business. Jacob was informed that out of all the sheep which are born, the ones with stripes and spots would be his. So Antonio argues that Jacob got living things as a reward for the hard work he did, whereas Shylock is getting money. We cannot compare sheep with money. Shylock quoted some scriptures from the Old Testament, but Antonio was not convinced. Antonio thought that even the devil can quote scriptures from the Old Testament, the religious texts. Now let me tell you a background story about Jacob. According to the Old Testament, which is followed by all the Abrahamic religions, that is Islam, Judaism and Christianity, on earth the first two human beings were Adam and Eve. So they had many generations, and then there was a child named Noah. He was blessed, and he and his wife built an ark called the Noah's Ark, saving certain specimens of each species of plants, animals, and the rest of the earth was flooded because it had become corrupted. And then, after many generations, they had Abraham, who is considered as the first possessor. After this, we had many prophets. Now, Abraham was unable to have a baby with Sarah for a long time, so ultimately he decided to have a baby with his maid, Hagar. Now, almost simultaneously, he had a child with both of them, named Isaac and Ishmael, respectively. Hagar and Ishmael were not given the due respect, and they were asked to leave because he considered Ishmael as the illegitimate child. And Isaac became the second possessor. Now, with his wife Rebecca, he had two sons, Esau and Jacob. Isaac was blind, and Rebecca favored Jacob to become the third possessor, although Esau was the elder one. So Rebecca had a plan. She thought, let's take advantage of Isaac's blindness. She cooked a delicious savory meat and asked Jacob to serve it to his father Isaac. And Jacob had to wear sheep wool on his hands, so that when Isaac touches Jacob's hands, he would feel that it's Esau, whose hands were hairy. So Isaac gave a blessing to Jacob, and that's how Jacob became the third possessor. And with Laban as well, when Jacob was working with Laban, his maternal uncle, that is Rebecca's brother, at that time also he had an idea. He put some rods along the fence so that the shadow would fall on the sheep. And strangely, see, it's a mythological story, the sheep which were born, a lot of them had stripes. And as per the deal, Laban got them as a reward for his hard work. Now, coming back to the main story, Shylock ultimately agreed to give him a loan because he thought that this is a good opportunity to take revenge against Antonio. He had just one condition, that he won't charge interest. Rather, as a friendly gesture, the contract should have a forfeiture mentioned, which says that if Antonio is unable to repay the debt within 3 months, then he will have to give 1 pound of flesh from any part of the body, and in the contract it was mentioned near the heart. Now Antonio was very confident that he would get his ships back soon and he would be able to repay the debt. So he agreed to sign the bond. Although Bassanio was not sure about this. Bassanio thought that there's something fishy about this contract. But Antonio agreed, and so they were asked to go to the notary, that is the lawyer who would draw up the contract, and they could sign the bond.
Hi students, this is AJ sir. If you like this video, press the like button. If you would like to enroll for my online test series or online lectures, email me or message me on Instagram. Check the description for more information.